Hi, everybody. It's NFL Week 3 kicking off here with Thursday Night Football. And we've got the Arizona Cardinals as a 1-point favorite hosting in the Seattle Seahawks, total of 43.5. Before we get to the free pick from both of us, we'll both give our opinions on this one. Don't forget, you can get in on a free $60 account for all new customers. So tell everybody you're following us by joining and getting a totally free $60 account, docsports.com/ICCT. That's for new users. If you're an existing user, use that 10% off code. We both have had a couple nice weeks in a row, so make sure you get on it. It's just $99 for a week. But if you use that 10% off code, it's hot 10. So it's no space to put that all together, and you get 10% off. So it'd be $89 for myself or $89 for IC. So together, less than $180, you get all of our plays, which is usually between 6 and 8 plays each. So make sure you check them out. All right, IC, what do you like here? Arizona and Seattle, both 2-1. Basically, somewhat a pick'em game. Arizona -1. What do you like?
What if I told you that Arizona has not beaten this team since 2022? Right? Seattle has won this game the last 7 times, so it's shocking. You and I were talked off air that Arizona. We expected Arizona to come out as a favorite, but we didn't know how much they were going to be a favorite. So it is interesting. Seattle, of course, beat them 30-18 and 16-6 last year. Seattle, of course, comes off that huge win against New Orleans, 44-13. And Craig, that line was only 7.5, and they didn't have a letdown or anything. They just beat the snot out of them at home. And that could be because they lost their last home game. And Seattle's a wonderful atmosphere, so losing that game against San Francisco, I think, really bugged this team. So this team is 2-1 out of the gates, and so is Arizona. Big wins against Pittsburgh on the road in New Orleans, and that loss against San Francisco doesn't look that bad now. Arizona comes into this game losing by 1 point to San Francisco, and they did cover that game. Of course, they did beat Carolina and New Orleans. But Carolina and New Orleans, as an NFC South guy rooting on my Falcons, I wouldn't say that's impressive. And beating San Francisco, or losing to San Francisco 15-16 in a game that was 6-all going into the fourth quarter, I wouldn't say it was overly impressive. And of course, losing to Mac Jones wasn't that great either. This is going to be a great game, and this is going to be a hard game, I think, to predict. You can have Seattle coming in here, who has the better quality win, in my opinion, with Pittsburgh on the road. Both these teams lost to San Francisco, and then of course Arizona coming in here off of a loss as well. I think what I like in this game is going to be Arizona, and I'm going to lean on Arizona. I like the fact that Seattle comes off that huge win, and I think they're going to probably have a little bit of a letdown. I like the fact, beating any team 44-13, I think is pretty impressive. So I think you just mentally, you just have sort of a letdown. It's a division game for Arizona too. I like the fact that Arizona, you have a situation where you only scored 15 points in the last game. And I'm a huge fan of Jonathan Gannon as well, right? He's a defensive coordinator for the Eagles before he got hired over here. Mike McDonald, obviously he's a defensive-minded coach too. But I think, you have a quarterback in Kyler Murray who can create a lot more problems than what the Seahawks quarterback can do. And, I think it might be a low-scoring game, but I'm not going to mess with that. I'm going to back the Cardinals here off of the loss.
Yeah, I would lean towards the under in this one. If I had to pick the side, I definitely would take Arizona here. I always like in the short week to have the home team, especially if it's basically a pick'em game. I would not mess with the -1, though. I would take them on the money line. We have seen some weird stuff happen with special teams and the block kicks and return kicks and punts. I mean, it was a weird week last week. I think it could happen again this week. So take the money line, maybe parlay them together, parlay in the under with Arizona. I think this is going to be a very close game with Arizona pulling it out late. So that's what I like. Don't forget, it's not going to be one of our top plays, either one of us. If you couldn't tell, it's not going to be one of our top plays. But I like a bunch of plays this weekend, and so does IC. So make sure you check those out. Use that promo code to get that 10% off code. And check out our Premium Plus products. Level 1, 2, and 3 here at YouTube for less than $50 a month. You can get all 3, or you can check that out. But if you click the link in the description below, you can get in and start winning with IC, myself, and Lenny on level 1. You get all 3. Good luck. We'll see you again next time.